all you young people, welcome back to 316. It is so nice to see you. If you're here for the first time, if you're here all of the time, or if you just stumble across this video, I want to welcome you. We are talking about a sermon series called Battle Scars. Battle Scars, because I believe, and I'm sure that you have experienced that in your own life, that life is not always fair. Sometimes life throws things at us that we don't understand, we never planned for, we don't want to go through them, but we have to. Here's the good news. God is with us, is with you every step of the way. So we can rejoice in that. Today we're going to talk about winning the battle in our minds, winning the battle against anger. Winning the battle against anger. And we are looking at an example in the Bible that is found in 1 Samuel chapter 25. 1 Samuel chapter 25. And we are talking about David. Now David, before he became king, he was already anointed. He had more than 600 men following him, but he was not sitting on the throne yet. So what happened in this story was that he was always good to the people around. All his people always treated everyone very nicely. Now he came into the situation where he had no food. So he sent his people to one of the rich people in that area who was a rich fella. And so the man come to him and say, you know what? We were always kind to you. We were always nice to you. We never harmed any of your men. We even protected them from the enemy. Can you give us some food? And that man said, like, what? Who are you? I don't even know you. Why should I share my food with you? Why should I give you something? So he sent them back. Now, when they came back to David and told him what had happened, he got angry. He got so angry that he said, you know what? I'm going to kill everyone. Now, remember, we're always talking about 3 points, right? The first one, what was the situation? The situation is very clear. Look what it says in 1 Samuel 25, verse 10. Nabal answered David's servant, who is this David? Who is the son of Jesse? Many servants are breaking away from their masters these days. Why should I take my bread and my water and the meat that I have slaughtered for my shearers and give it to the man coming from who knows where? So the situation is very clear. David and his men were always nice to Nabal's men. In fact, they protected him. So if you want to read the entire story, I encourage you to do that because I'm only picking out a few verses here and there. So read the whole story so that you get a better understanding. But it was like this. David's men were always nice and even protected Nabal's men. But when Nabal heard of it and David asked for some food, he said, no, I don't want to give. And David got so angry. Now, what was his response? That is point number 2, right? What is his response? Now, his response is not a good one. So it is a negative example of what we can learn of how not to react, okay? The Bible is not only full of good examples of what we should be doing, but the Bible is also full of examples of negative examples so that we can learn how not to respond. See what it says in 1 Samuel 25, verse 13. David said to his men, each of you strap on your sword. So they did. And David strapped on his as well. About 400 men went up with David, while 200 stayed with the supplies. So David asked his men to take up their swords, to take up their weapon, and he did as well, because he was going against Nabal and he wanted to fight them. Now you might say, but Pastor, maybe he just wanted to intimidate them. Maybe he just wanted to go and put some pressure on them. No. See what it says in verse 34. That really shows his intention. 1 Samuel 25, verse 34. As surely as the Lord, the God of Israel lives, who has kept me from harming you, if you had not come quickly to meet me, not one male belonging to Nabal would have been left alive by daybreak. So now this shows David's intention clear cut, as clear as day and night. He said, when Abigail came, if you would have not talked me out of this, I would have go against Nabal and I would have killed everyone. Not one male would have survived. So that was the intention of David. He didn't go there to just put some fear in them and then get something from them. He went there to kill everyone. Now, thank God, Abigail came. He gave him bread and food, and he talked him down. He talked him down. And that is sometimes what we need in our life. We need friends who speak wisdom into our life. We need people to speak sense into our life. So when we are hot, when we are angry, when we are in the situation and we don't even want to see clearly, that somebody can speak to us. So I want you to know that you need a friend. You need a good friend. And of course, I'm not only talking about people. That is the first thing. We need people in our life. People who can speak sense into us. Who can say, okay, you know what? You're angry now. Just calm down. Just wait a minute. Before you make a decision, just take some time to cool down, to cool off. And then everything can look different. But I also want you to know is that we always have God as a friend. You can have God in your life and can talk to Him as you are talking to a friend. So if you don't have anyone right now that you could bear your heart and you are angry at the situation, go to God in prayer. Explain to Him what you are going through. Now, of course, I know God already knows what you are going through, but it will help you to talk to God about it. That you can talk about your feelings, that you talk about the anger that you feel, so that God can come in and calm you down. That God can come in and say, you know what, just chill for a little bit. Take some time to breathe. God can minister to you and you can come to a place where you are now making good decisions in your life. Not in the heat of moment, not because you're angry, but now with God being there. Having talked about what is going on, now you can make a good decision. So now the outcome, the point number 3 that we always talk, the outcome is a good one. 1 Samuel 25, verse 35. Then David accepted from her hand what she had brought him and said, "Go home in peace. I have heard your words and granted your request." So David, thank God, changed his mind. Abigail came. She gave him some gifts, what he asked for. She talked him down, and David changed his mind of going up and killing every male in Nabal's family. So that is the good outcome. David had someone to calm him down, to talk to him, to speak sense into his life. And that, I believe, like I said earlier, is what we need in our life. We need to have good friends who can speak into our life. But you also need God, that you can talk to God and He can lead you and lead you in a good way so that you can make good and wise decisions in life. And of course, if you read on in the scripture, you will see that later on Nabal had a heart attack and he died, and David came in and took Abigail as his wife. So all around happy ending, right? But that only happened because David was willing to listen to Abigail. He was willing to let his fury, his anger be calmed down. And we have to have the same kind of attitude. If we are angry, don't speak so fast. If you are angry, don't make a decision just yet. If you are angry, don't do something stupid. Wait for your feelings, your anger to calm down. Pray about it. Talk to someone about it. And then when you are calm, then make a decision. And I can guarantee you, you will avoid a lot of difficult situations if you follow that one simple rule. Don't make decisions when you're angry. Don't decide anything important when you are angry. Go to God in prayer, find Him, find His presence, calm down, and then make a good and wise decision. All right, with this one, I will leave you and I will talk to you in the Zoom call. So until next time, see you guys. Bye-bye.